Imam al-Hasan al-Basri, he said, I have met people, they were more stingy with their time than with their money. If it was a matter of money, here, take it. Go, take my money. Because rizq comes and goes, and I'm not going to die until I earn every single penny that was written for me. But my time is limited. And how I use it or misuse it is going to determine where I will end up in the next life. Another one of the pious predecessors, Abdullah ibn Umar, one time he was stopped by someone who was referred to as Battalin. People that just waste their time sitting on the sidewalk. Anyone that comes by, they want to waste their time with them. So this scholar was walking by and one of these guys stopped him. He said, hey, come here, let's chit-chat for a second. So this scholar asked him, is there something I can do for you? Something I can help you? What can I assist you with? Do you have a question? Anything I can help you with? He says, no, nothing like that. I just wanted to hang out for a second. Just chit-chat with you for a second. What's going on? So Abdullah ibn Umar looks up at the sun. And he looked back at him. And he said, stop that from moving, so I will stop and chit-chat with you. He didn't have time. Akhirah mindset. They knew that they're meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they didn't know when. And none of us know when. And this reminds me of a story that Ibn al-Jawzi, a famous scholar, mentions of Imam Ahmed. That Imam Ahmed, the famous scholar of fiqh, the father of the fourth school of jurisprudence, Imam Ahmed once had to travel to another village, another city, another country, what have you. He had to leave his locality and travel somewhere else. So when he arrived at his destination, now at this time there's no YouTube, no Facebook, Twitter, profile pics, none of that, no newspapers, no cameras to begin with. So if someone didn't live in the same area where you live, they didn't know what you looked like. People may have described you, but they had never seen your picture. So Imam Ahmed travels to another city and everyone knows Imam Ahmed. He's the most famous scholar in the Ummah at that time, but no one knows what he looks like. That's not his locality, and travel wasn't easy at that time. So he goes to this city, he has nowhere to stay. So where does he go? He goes to the masjid, to stay at the masjid. So after Salat time is over, Isha is finished, the people have made their sunnah, the guard of the masjid comes to lock the masjid, and he tells him, you gotta leave, we're closing up shop. Masjid's closed for tonight. You have to leave. Imam Ahmed says, I came as a traveler, I have nowhere to stay. Just let me spend the night here, just one night. I'm a traveler. He says, no one sleeps in the masjid. Doors are being locked, get up. He's insisting, pleading with him, please, I have nowhere to go. All I have is what's on my back. He forces him out of the masjid. So he has no choice, Imam Ahmed has no choice but to leave the masjid. So he leaves, and the Haris, the guard, closes the door shut. So Imam Ahmed sits, left, right. Where can I go? He has nowhere to go. He doesn't know anyone there. So he lays down on the steps, on the porch of the masjid. He says, well, if he's not going to let me sleep inside, then I'll sleep right here on the steps. So he lays down and sleeps there. Sure enough, the guard comes out after him again. What are you doing here? You can't, this is the masjid property. Get up. Masjid's closed. Come back at Fajr time. And he pleads with him, please just let me sleep on the steps, on the porch. No, masjid's closed, get up. He drags him into the street. Now he doesn't know that he's dealing with Imam Ahmed. If he knew, he might have been a little bit more lenient with him. Drags him into the street and leaves him there. Go find your way. So Imam Ahmed is there sitting in the middle of the street, looking left and right. Everything is closed, so dark, everyone's at home asleep. Where is he going to go? There's a baker's shop down the street that notices this man in the middle of the street here. And this baker, he works throughout the night because he has to prepare the bread for the morning. People come and they need bread for breakfast. So he's kneading his bread all night long. So he sees this poor traveling man in the middle of the street. He tells him, come and stay inside my store. I am going to spend the whole night here working. You can sleep in my store, in my shop. Imam Ahmed accepts the offer and goes inside the store. As he's sitting there, he sees the baker kneading his dough. Kneading his dough. One piece of bread after another. Kneading away, flour, what have you, making his bread. And with each movement of his hand, with each piece of bread that he makes, he's Astaghfirullah, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allah Akbar, Subhanallah, Astaghfirullah, Allahumma inni astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Non-stop istighfar. Non-stop. His mouth does not stop making istighfar and dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Imam Ahmed is very surprised to see someone like this. You don't come across someone like this very often. So Imam Ahmed asks him two questions. And pay attention to the questions that the scholar asks. Because asking questions, they say there's no such thing as a dumb question. That's fine, there's no such thing as a dumb question. But there's a big difference between a very intelligent question and a mediocre question. So look at the questions that scholars ask. Look what they're thinking about. Imam Ahmed tells the baker, how long have you been in this hal? How long have you been doing this for? And the baker says, many years. I can't even remember how long it's been since I have made this a habit of mine. Follow-up question number 2. Imam Ahmed asks the baker, what result have you found because of this action you are doing? What have you found different in your life? What have you discovered? What effect has this had on you? And the baker says, by Allah, every single dua that I have made, it was answered. I have never made a dua sincerely to Allah except that I saw the answer before my eyes, except for one dua. So Imam Ahmed asks him, what is this dua that you haven't found the answer to? He says, I have been begging Allah all of these years with my istighfar and my dhikr and my tahleel and tasbih and my tawbah. I've been begging Allah, oh Allah, allow me to meet this famous scholar, this walking encyclopedia, Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal, and I've never been able to meet him. Imam Ahmed says, because of your dhikr, I have been dragged by my feet to you. This is the answer of your dua. Now there's so many lessons that we could take from the story. But the one that relates to our discussion here today that I wanted to focus on is look at how this simple man, baking his bread all night, making his living, ordinary man, look how he makes use of every single second. He does not let one piece of dough go by except that he remembers Allah, makes istighfar, begs Allah to forgive him. That's what you call an akhirah mindset. That's what you call making use, best use of every single second that you have.